Welcome to Growing Quality. My name is Elian and I look for stocks which are creating moats. Now, this is the first video on my channel and I would like to introduce it to you and explain what you can expect from me. Now, in this video, I will explain to you the why of Growing Quality and why I started this YouTube channel. Because this basically came from watching financial YouTubers for over a decade and the frustrations I got from it. Now, I will also explain to you where I would like to add value for you and what my plans are going forward with YouTube. Now, starting off with my frustrations after watching a decade of financial YouTubers. What I've noticed is that you can divide them basically into three categories. The first one being the ones who talk general about markets. These YouTubers will tell you about the stock market, about index funds, ETFs, but they will also talk to you about personal finance or maybe even real estate. They just talk about everything in general, but nothing specific. Then we have the second category, the jack of all trades, but master of none. These are the YouTubers that will go over all the news in the stock market. They pump out videos every day and they will just highlight all the news. They do not have a defined strategy and they will go over large caps, small caps, maybe even micro caps or over the counter pink sheet stocks. They do not care because they just want to give you news and pump out videos. Then we have the third category, the YouTubers that take you along in their story. They will show you their portfolio and they will tell you the news of their stocks, maybe some market specifics, but basically they just tell you about their portfolio, what's going on there, and that's about it. So now that I have explained to you where I want to position myself, let me explain you why and what stocks I look for, because I told you in the second group they talk about all stocks and every stock. And in the third group, they will only tell you about their portfolio. So I want to tell you about stocks which have a minimum market cap of 10 billion. Now, this can, of course, differ slightly based on valuations, but take 10 billion as a baseline. Now, why 10 billion? Basically, this is where I see companies start growing in mode. Below 10 billion, stocks are huge. I mean, if you were to have a company that's worth 10 billion, you'd not be watching my video right now. You'd have entirely different things on your hands. So they are huge, but they don't necessarily have a moat. Take Carvana, for example. I looked into their annual report. The stock is worth more than 10 billion, but they also told us that the industry is heavily divided. The top 100 car retailers have a combined market share of 11%. I mean, that's no moat. You cannot have any serious competitive advantages in such a divided market. I want to look for stocks that can develop into companies with monopolistic characters. So, what do they need for that? Basically, they have to grow revenues by at least 10%. Now, why only 10% if I just told you that I look for companies with a market cap of 10 billion? You'd expect more growth. That's true. But there's also a lot above it. And I'm not saying I'm that interested in Apple, but there are also companies that are worth 100 billion, but that are growing towards being worth 1 trillion. Take Shopify, for example. The company is growing like a weed. And no, they are valued higher and their market cap is up there, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have a long runway of growth ahead of it. So 10% revenue, but also 15% of EPS growth. You want them to become more efficient, right? They have to become better companies. So 15% of EPS growth, and they have to be profitable. Or if they are not profitable, they need to have the path going to profitability within the next year, give or take. It has to be clear that they are getting there. So then, what exactly are my plans with YouTube? Because I explained to you how I want to add value for you and what the type of stocks are that I look for. So, what I want to do is upload videos once a week. Every Friday, I want to go over the highlights for the week, the earnings, and maybe some news that stood out to me. Now, if I see that there is a lot of positive feedback on this or that it's getting a bit of traction, we all have to see that, then I will upload 2 or 3 times a week. If I were to upload multiple videos a week, you can expect me to look forward into the week on Monday, give you a summary of what has happened so far on Wednesday, and give you the highlights of the week on Friday. Now, I also set some goals, of course, and the first goal being is improving. And for that, I need you. So, if you've gone this far in the video, please let me know in the comments down below what you think of it and where you think I can improve. Also, I set a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the summer. So, if you want to become part of that journey and help me reach that goal, please subscribe and give a thumbs up if you liked it.